What's up, people? What's up? What's up? What's up? How's everyone doing? I'm glad to be here. Hopefully, everyone's having a great week. Welcome, everyone, to episode 38 of Humanity Unplugged podcast. I'm your host, Jermaine McCrimmon, and it's beautiful outside. It's about 91 degrees where I'm at. Everybody's outside doing something, so hopefully you guys are enjoying your day and your week as well. I'd like to give a shout out to everyone. Hopefully you guys are making the best of this month of May. And this episode is going out to all the spy movie people who love to watch the spy movies, the James Bonds, the Jason Born Identity, all of the somewhat movies with iRobot, all the fans of all those type of movies. This episode is dedicated to you because of what's going on in our America today. We're going to talk about it. And I don't know if you guys are aware, but Trump is trying to get this bill passed. And it's amazing that he's at this area where he wants to talk about this and put it out there for us to enjoy and feed and frenzy over it and things as such. So it's a golden America. I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. The second topic we're going to talk about is Memphis, Tennessee. For those of you who don't know, Memphis, Tennessee, them boys getting down in Memphis, Tennessee. It is now the murder capital of the United States. There's more homicides and more crime being committed in Tennessee than any other state in the United States. It is so bad in Memphis that the FBI have deployed people out to go to Memphis to shut it down, to fix some of the crime. We're going to go into some statistics of that and go into a little bit of homework on that. So, guys, hopefully everyone's having a great day. We're going to get right into it. And I thank you guys for all your comments, positives, negatives, whatever you have. We'd like to thank you for it because engagement is everything to me. So the first thing we're going to talk about, of course, is I think we need to talk about the FBI in Memphis. I think Memphis is something we need to talk about. So here we go, guys.
Bold statement from FBI Director Kash Patel this weekend about Memphis. On national television Sunday, he called the city the homicide capital of America and announced plans to send a task force to Tennessee to tackle the issue. ABC 24's Scott Mattis is here to break it all down. Scott, good evening.
Good evening to you, Pepper. Kash Patel also said he did not know Memphis was actually the homicide capital of the United States until he took his oath of office just a few short months ago. And now he says he'll be sending federal agents right here to put an end to the violent crime.
I want to say he didn't know it. Patel didn't know about, about Memphis until he took his oath. So who was in charge of looking at this prior than Patel? Because when I can do the numbers on this, the crime rate has been out of control for over a decade in Memphis.
Now, I can also tell you, he said this: I didn't know this until my confirmation process, but Memphis, Tennessee is the homicide capital of America per capita. Now, didn't know that We have a problem there. We're now addressing it. We are rolling out one of our task forces to the state of Tennessee. That's what FBI Director Kash Patel declared on national news just yesterday. And Monday morning, that declaration is reverberating across the city of Memphis. This comes after the Memphis Shelby Crime Commission told ABC 24 News last year that the rate of major crime, I should say earlier this year, fell by nearly 9%, 8.
Hold on. Now they're trying to say that the rate dropped, but I'm going to do some homework and I'm going to show you guys that the crime rate in Memphis is very, very high. And for you guys to know that they need help out there. It's been neglected for too long, way too long.
0.8 to be exact this year when compared to the first quarter of 2024. Now, Memphis City Councilman, and he's also the chairman, J.B. Smiley, tells me Monday he welcomes the FBI's help if they keep their word, but he also says getting those guns and those switches off the streets should be everyone's biggest priority.
The laws that are being put forth just lead to a series of guns in our community, which ultimately leads to lives lost. And that's what's more troubling to me.
All right, Memphis Mayor Paul Young gave me this statement this afternoon. It reads in part, MPD has always collaborated with federal agencies on addressing violent crime, and we're encouraged by any effort whatsoever that brings more resources to Memphis. We look forward to learning more from our federal law enforcement partners. Now, Pepper.
Okay, guys, as we see and listen to this right here, I mean, what he's saying is very disturbing about Memphis. And now when you look at the history, a little bit about Memphis, Tennessee, in 2006, the crime rate increased dramatically. And something happened between 2005 and 2006 that put Memphis on the map. We might have to look into the communities and see what drugs hit over there at that time. Because 2005, 2006 sound like the opioid, rise when opioids got real popular. Because you got to remember, in these smaller places like Memphis, and people might say, well, Memphis ain't small. Well, it's not a popular place like New York or San Francisco and things like that. Memphis is not popular, is not more popular than say another hot spot in California, or a hot spot not like Miami. So when you look at the popularity between Memphis, Tennessee, and Miami, Florida, people will go to Miami, Florida before they say they're gonna come to Memphis. So that's what I mean. So when you slip a drug like opioids in the community and in that area, it causes an uproar, because when you make money and everyone's making money, things happen within the community. Now, when I say make money, I'm saying people that are hustling, doing illegal funding in the communities, it'll bring down the community. So when communities go down, people don't want to work. So a lot of people are doing drugs, or they're selling drugs. So now the crime rate rises because now people want to get high by any way necessary. So they start stealing. People can't hold a job. The community goes down. No one is going to work. No one is in the stores. People are just being out there, strung out. Drugs is heavy. So the community goes down and the crime rate goes up. So this might have happened back in 2005, where the opioids came in there, maybe meth, maybe cocaine really hit bad over there, even though cocaine been out for years. But something happened in the community-based area. I just want to tell you guys, when they talk about the crime rate goes up in Memphis, Tennessee, it's not up where the houses cost $2.2 million. The houses cost $800,000, $900,000. In those high end areas, the crime rate is low. The crime rate is bad where the low income people live, people that are struggling, the people that's on the assistance, the Section 8s, the public assistance. The middle class is where they're talking about the crime rate has rose out of control. So in 2005, the crime rate, 2005, 2006, the numbers of crime arose 66%. It's incredible. So in 2000, between 2004 and 2008, number of full-time officers increased. Well, it fell. The guys, that's what happened also. In 2004 through 2008, Memphis PD officers were resigning and leaving the force. Nobody wants to be a cop. Well, think about it. If you look at a cop's salary in Memphis, it could be between $39,000 to $69,000. Is that worth your life? Is that worth the stress? So people leaving the force. So of course, when that happened, businesses, the robbery of businesses increased to 52.5%, individual increased to 28.5%, homicides increased by 18%. And this why the fluctuation, like I said, these things happen. So now you mix that police is not around, you mix that poverty is at its all-time high, you mix all these things together, the stress of the environment, and now you have I ain't even mentioned this to you. The biggest part you need to understand is also Memphis is the head state for gangs. There's no more gangs, there's no other place in United States that carry more gangs in their state than Memphis. Memphis has over 182 gangs out there. So can you imagine if you have on a certain color hat, you might be a target and you're not even in a gang? You might have on a matching outfit and you get shot because you look like somebody in a gang. So I just want to let you know, this is not good. This is not good. And this, all I'm talking about 2006, 2005, like I told you, they had over a 10-year decade, which is 10 years. So from 2006 to 2016 is 10 years. We in 25. No one knew about this. No one talked about the problems out in Memphis. No one addressed it. Out in Memphis, the crime rate, how it was going crazy out there. Remember, I'm just giving you numbers from 2006. 10-year run is 2016. And these people that's been suffering under this depression been going on over there for a very, very long time. No one is talking about it. The presidents that we had over time, no one talked about it. No one fixed it. No Biden, no Obama, no Trump the first time. Now we got Trump again. No one. Remember, 2006 is a long time ago. We're almost going to be 20 years past 2006. And the crime rates was astronomical. It was crazy. No one talked about it. In 2005, the murder rate was 154 murders, 431 in the whole Tennessee. But in Memphis was 154. In 2006, it was 160 in Memphis. 2007, 164. And in 2006, when it was 164, there were 397 in the entire state of Tennessee. So a lot of people dying out there. It's crazy. So in 2023, so I gave you old numbers. Now we're going to go. In 2023, Memphis had the highest homicide in the United States. 397 homicides were recorded. That's 2 years ago. Now, since then, some of the robberies dropped, but it's crazy. As you see, the FBI sent out a crew to go out there and try to handle it, try to shut it down. People are, suffering. Could you imagine that? You can't go outside. You're scared if you go to the store, you might not come back. Even if you just work and mind your business, you might not make it back because of where you live at. It's sad, but let's look at the numbers. 2017, they had 200 murders. 2018, 186 murders. 2019, 191. 2020, 332 murders. 2021, 346 murders. 2022, 261. 23, 398 murders. There's a lot of bodies going in the ground in Memphis, guys. So we got to get help. I'm glad Patel is going to have FBI come out there. I say send the army in there. I don't want to tell you what needs to happen because you have Murphy's Law out there if you do what I think you should do. But unfortunately, they're trying to blame this on guns. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. Guns are just a tool that is used to kill people. So now you change the gun law, and now you say, maybe I'm just saying, not anyone caught with a gun under the age of 14. You got to give them examples. I'm sorry, but you got to give out lessons. Either you're going to go to school at the age of 14 or you're going to get into some serious problems with the law. Either you're going to stop shooting up people and act like you got some sense, or you might come up missing. You got to get back structure. When you can't get back structure, you got to either bomb the when chaos happens, what they do, what they did in Pearl Harbor, they dropped the bombs. I'm not saying they need to drop bombs in Memphis. I'm saying you tear it all the way up and build it up from scratch again. Or you change the laws. Change the laws. Some of the laws you can change is to give them a curfew law. Yep. Murphy's Law. Give them a curfew law. Anybody under the age of 14 with a gun, give them substantial time they get caught. Anybody at the age of 18, give them substantial time. Anybody 18 and up, 18, you can't, and then make the law where you can't get a gun unless you 25 years old and up. So anybody with a gun under that age, hammer time. Hammer time. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but you need to pass that as a Tennessee law. Because what people will do is people will move out of Memphis and go to another little town near Memphis or a little city near Memphis and say, well, I'm not in Memphis, then do the crime in Memphis and shoot back over there. So you got to pass that throughout. Now, the problem with that is the high-end people not going to tolerate that. They like to be able to bear arms and be free to carry guns. Well, you got to give and take. Because what the high-end don't want is the crime to cross that line. Right where there's a divider of low income stops and the high income starts, that line, they don't want you to cross that line. And if they don't want you to cross the line, you got to change the laws. The last thing you want, and I'm moving on, is an uninvited guest at your dinner table. You don't want that. You don't want to have that beautiful house that you have and it's sitting there beautiful, everything is nice, and somebody ring your doorbell you wasn't expecting. Let that sink in a little bit, because it's an uncomfortable feeling to have that. So let's think about it the right way. Bring the people in there. It's got to get worse before it gets better. It's got to get worse before it gets better. And let's go in there, turn it up, get it back right. There's going to be some lives lost. There's going to be some casualties of war, but it's got to get worse before it gets better. And once we do that, we might be able to have some peace. Now, the next topic I'm going to talk about with you guys is Trumpy Trump. And I want you to understand what he's doing and what he want to do. This is next level. And this is exactly what the rest of the world don't need to see or hear, because if they see him doing it, they want to do it. And they have people with the money to pull it off. Here we go.
This design for the Golden Dome will integrate with our existing defense capabilities and should be fully operational before the end of my term.
So y'all heard that correctly. It's a Golden Dome. And the Golden Dome, you know, it's incredible. And I just want you guys to understand that, you know, this is something that's going to change the world if it gets passed and if it goes through. So if it goes through, you know, woo-wee. Listen to this, guys.
I promised the American people that I would build a cutting-edge missile defense shield to protect our homeland from the threat of foreign missile attack. This design for the Golden Dome will integrate with our existing defense capabilities and should be fully operational before the end of my term, ultimately.
So what he's saying is a Golden Dome is an AI operated command center. AI operated command center that will react to whatever hits that dome or is a threat to that dome and send a response to whatever the threat came from. So we can have a war or a nuclear war. And we won't even, you know, you have no way of identifying it. Now, of course, they're going to tell you, no, it's not like that. But yes, it is like that. This is why also he doesn't want Pakistan or India to get nuclear warheads. So this is a deep, dark plot. Let's listen up.
This right here, the Golden Dome for America, is game changer. It's a generational investment in the security of America and Americans.
Leading aerospace and defense company Lockheed Martin could be a major contributor to this project. Their chief operating officer, Frank St. John, joins me now. Frank, good morning to you. So what are the capabilities that Lockheed has that can help with this?
Morning, Carly. As the nation's leading provider of missile defense systems, Lockheed Martin brings fielded proven capabilities in space, airborne, and surface sensing, as well as interceptors to defeat threats and command and control capabilities to integrate all of that together.
And this Golden Dome could ultimately block nuclear missiles shot from on the ground and in space as well?
Yes, and there are, significant analysis of the.
Hold up. Did you guys hear that? It can block. It can block nuclear warheads. I stand corrected.
The existing and growing threat that have created the demand for this system to be fielded now. And so we are bringing those combat-proven capabilities, as well as working with all of industry and all of the technology companies to knit together this capability that will defend against those threats that you mentioned, as well as cruise missiles and intermediate ballistic missiles and other threats as well.
Well, it's fascinating, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that the robotic arms that are operating behind you and people walking past. So clearly all systems go at Lockheed Martin this morning, and I imagine that this Golden Dome and building it and creating it would be a job creator as well.
It is, and yeah, the work of deterrence is a 24/7 operation, and you see that in process here. And yes, there's going to be jobs in California, Colorado, Alabama, Arkansas, New Jersey, New York, all over the country. This is going to be a system that's built domestically here in the United States And we're really proud to take a leading role in bringing President Trump's vision to reality.
Okay, so let's talk about how some of our adversaries are feeling about the president's announcement yesterday. Chinese Foreign Ministry put out this statement this morning saying this undermines global strategic balance and stability. China expresses serious concern over this. We urge the United States to abandon the development.
So, of course, your allies are not going to like that you're doing this, because if you are able to pull this off, there's no such thing as sneak attack in America. There's no such thing as getting something under the radar once this is put together. Now, the command centers are the command centers. They plan to have those strategically throughout the United States, but it does bring out a state of caution, because still this is ran by computers, also some AI probably be involved in this. So who knows, excuse me, how this is going to end up. But this is crazy to hear that they're pushing this through. The cost is $175 billion.
And deployment of a global missile defense system as soon as possible. I mean, this is a defensive technology. So how do you feel about that and where they're coming from here?
Well, what we've seen historically is that the thing that leads to conflict is a lack of deterrence.
Yeah.
And so our belief, along with the administration, is that having strong deterrence is the best way to deter conflict. And so we're looking forward to partnering with General Gutlein and the administration to roll this out and make the world safe for peace and prosperity.
So the president also said yesterday that Canada wants to be involved in this, but they
Hold up. Did you guys hear that? Canada wants a piece of this too, because of course you want to cover your people. Of course, you don't want to leave them without having the umbrella. The umbrella only be on the United States. So when it rains, it only rains on other people. Yes, a lot of countries, a lot of people are going to want in on this. This is huge. I'm surprised no one's talking about this. This is some good stuff right here, guys.
They would have to pay their fair share. And some skeptics say that the immense cost and the actual ability to create something to defend an entire continent isn't realistic. So what would you say to those critics?
Well, most of the constituent elements of the system have been demonstrated already in smaller scale around the world, and all of them have been proven in combat situations. And so this is really a scaling of capability and an integration capability.
So that means we've been running tests on this for the longest of time, and it works. It does work. It's reliable. We don't have to worry about it breaking down. We have everything we need to execute the dome. Now we just need the funding, a little kinks of this and kinks of that out, and we'll be a better country with this missile defense plan. The Golden Dome, $175 billion. United States, Lockheed Martin, they're going to Lockheed Martin, I'm sorry, going to go in here and do what he do and make us all safer. Well, I don't know how true that is. I don't know. But this is something that's going to change a lot of things. It's going to bring jobs. It's going to every economy is going to rise. Everything's going to go up from this. Yes, this is going to be huge.
And the technology that's available today for networking, for edge and cloud computing, for bringing artificial intelligence to bear on the decision making, all of that new technology is what's going to allow us to stitch these capabilities together and produce this system.
It's fascinating. And really quickly, final question to you. Do you really think that we can get this up and running within the President Trump's second term over the next 3 years?
Because of the start we have with the existing capabilities, we're going to be able to rapidly assemble a credible deterrent in a very short period of time. and in parallel then work the future technologies that'll deal with threats as they evolve and keep the system relevant for generations.
The question is, how much money do Lockheed Martin get out of this? Woo! I can only imagine what tax break they get out of this. Could you imagine what they're getting out of this? This is great. Sidebar for all the people that's listening all around the world, start to learn your AI. Get your certifications in AI. Because you know that's where they're going. They're going right into AI. So whatever you need to know, whatever you need to get, start getting it so you can be on the board of landing that job. Because AI is going to help run this. Hey guys, we reached our mark again. I love the show today. It was great. But I gotta go. Gotta let you guys go. Thank you for listening. Hopefully, you guys can share the word. And if I offended anybody in the last episode in 37, I didn't mean to. I was just curious on questions on why, certain channels don't get that support. So anyway, it's good to see you guys commenting. It's good to be here. I'm still here. We're doing what we do. I love everyone. Again, guys, love yourself more. Think positive. Eat healthy. Peace.